Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting evening of Shear Chat right here from the Shear Chat studios of Washington, D.C. And I am joined with an extra special guest this evening, none other than Miss Katina Rayford. Katina Rayford is a new author of a really exciting book about her life. She is an entrepreneur. She's also a cosmetology instructor right here in the district and a fabulous hairstylist, to say the least. So I am so excited to bring to you all none other than Katina Rayford. Katina Rayford, meet my people, and people, please meet Katina Rayford.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be here.
I know. I'm so excited to find she finally made it to the couch, y'all. Oh my goodness. So Katina, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Katina Rayford, born and raised in Washington, D.C. I'm a mother of 4, also a grandmother of 2, and I've been in the cosmetology industry for absolutely long time, but I first started out doing hair when I was 16, and I've been teaching for over 10 years now.
Exciting.
Yes. I do a little bit of everything. Ever since I was young, I always liked sales, like trying to just do my own business and everything like that. So I have been selling many things. I even sold cars once.
Hey, I remember. So wait a minute, before you go on, let me tell you guys how I first met Katina. I first met her when I came to DC and I was in cosmetology school. And so this was back in like 2005, and I swear cosmetology school was just the best experience for me because I met so many great people.
Yes.
And people who, you know, at times when it was not the best, I had a lot of things that went on during that period. It was people like Katina who would make me laugh, just, you know, knowing that they were going to be there, even though we weren't in the same class. She was a senior, I was a freshman. Those were the people I used to sneak and say, hey, how you doing? You know, just to talk, just to laugh for a moment and have that lighthearted moment. You know, it brought me so much joy back then. So I really appreciate it. That's why I absolutely love her, and she had to be on the show.
Yes.
So as we move forward, tell us a little bit. Let's see. So she has She has brought to us this evening her book. Like I said, she's an author, but also she's brought to us her cosmetic line. One of the things that we learned, and I'm sure you heard us talk about it on previous shows, was how we are taught to develop, you know, hair care products. We are also taught how to mix things which can be used as cosmetics. So, you know, it is, I would say, not a far reach for someone like Katina, who has many years in the industry, to further that by coming up with her own cosmetic line. Katina, tell us a little bit about your line.
Well, it's called Virtuous Reds, and the virtuous is because of the pure, like, classy, wholesome woman.
Okay.
Godly woman. And the reds is because the red color is my absolute favorite.
Okay, see, now I like that explanation because I used to say when Katina was like, oh, the red is the #1 seller, I said, child, that's the Jezebel color. You know, us old church folk from back in the day,
you not that old.
Do not wear red, okay?
That's a whole nother show. But that misconception is no longer in place.
Because you said that is your #1 seller, right?
First Lady is the deep red, and it's my bestseller.
Now imagine that. It's called First Lady.
Yes.
And it is the absolute bestseller of the line.
It's classy. I think it's your personality.
Okay.
So it's how you carry yourself. So if you carry yourself classy as a lady, I don't think you like the
bad connotation, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? I totally agree because red is one of my favorite colors. I have it on tonight, and for those of you who know me, you know that red is my business color, and I say that I chose that color, or really, it just it came to me because it screams life, and I think because of blood, you know, all the things that are red and it's vibrant. That was just like the perfect color because that's what I wanted people to feel, you know, when they left my chair. I wanted to give them life.
And you know what? I actually had to go to a funeral on Saturday, and I had on all red. And I actually, well, purple is my favorite color for royalty.
Okay.
But I'm turning a new leaf over to the red. When I think about red, I think about God's unconditional love. I think about the blood He shed for me and us. I think about self-love. I just think about love.
Okay.
Something positive, not the Jezebel.
I'm gonna have to
old
steal
and
that.
out the window.
That's Old Testament. That's Old Testament.
So you don't have to be afraid. You can do the reds and look at it as a positive and not a negative.
And not a negative. So tell us what other colors you have here. I see quite a few, and it is a wide array of colors. If you guys can see it, tell us a little bit about them really quick.
This second color under the red is a berry tone color. It's my second best seller.
Okay.
Which is called Grace, Mercy, Favor.
Okay.
And it's very popular. Do you know the darker tones are in?
Yes.
So a lot of people like the darker tones. And then my nudes are my third best seller.
Right, which I bet the nudes are actually going to be really hot because
For
that
the spring and
is
summer,
that is ideal for this time of year. And
But
get you a nude so we could bring in the spring and summer.
What brought about the lipstick line was when I was little, I used to get teased for having big lips.
Okay.
But I learned to embrace my lips. And I absolutely love, that's one of my best features.
Right.
And I love lipstick.
I can agree.
So I turned a negative into a positive once again.
And that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
That's what we definitely have to do. So how did you go about before you go back into the different colors? Oh, well, actually, let's touch on the colors that you have over here.
This is one of my newer colors, and that's called Pink Rose.
Okay.
It's a little smooth, light.
That's an awesome color,
light
guys.
pink for the spring. The purple is called Royalty.
Okay.
And the orange is called Sunset.
Nice.
And this is one of my newer colors. That's the darkest color that I have.
Okay.
Which I call Dark Diva.
Dark Diva.
Yes.
Okay. And what about this one over here?
And this is a new pale rose color.
Okay. So
I
that's
haven't
going to
really
be kind
named
of
her
sheer.
yet. Yeah, it's sheer. It doesn't go on really. It doesn't have a lot of pigment.
Okay.
But I haven't really named her yet.
Okay, sounds great. Okay, so now how did you go about developing the line? So you said why you did it, but how did you go about starting it? For people who want to start a cosmetics line or either any type of, startup business.
Well, I actually was thinking about it because I put it on a vision board like 10 years ago, and I put down that I will be an author.
Okay.
I put down that I will have my own lipstick line.
Nice.
And actually, one of my former students, Miss Payanita Powell.
Hey, Payanita.
I call her my daughter. She actually had posted something on social media about helping people start their cosmetic lines.
Okay.
So she helped me a great deal with getting started.
Very nice.
She started me out, and of course, once my creative juices got the flowing, I took off.
Now, isn't that amazing? So, a person who was once your student became the teacher.
You never know what bridges you're going to come across.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so now, was it difficult to start your line, or?
It wasn't difficult, and it wasn't too expensive. It's just, baby steps. Sometimes when people start out, they want to just jump into it and, and I just took baby steps. I order from a distributor, so I do a little bit at a time, just growing it, letting it marinate and grow.
Gotcha.
Instead of, everybody see lipstick and they see a
Right.
book, so they automatically think money, money,
Right,
money.
right.
But they don't realize it's an investment. You
Absolutely.
have to put out to get in.
Everything that you do, you have to invest in
Invest.
it. And the return is not always
So
quick.
the people who let me get a lipstick and all
Right.
that, I have to pay for the lipstick and then resell it for all the discount folks.
Right, and that's how business goes. Oftentimes we have to, like I said, put in first before we can see any type of return. So it really is a leap of faith
and
when we do
sometimes
that.
you giving, you are giving, you giving to put your product out so you can brand yourself and make a name for yourself.
Right. Awesome point. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with another evening of Shear Chat. I am your host, Rashawn Broadnex, and this is my exciting guest, Katina Rayford. If you want to see our previous shows, please log on to YouTube and you can see them by searching Shear Chat with Rashawn Broadnex. We're also on Facebook under Shear Chat. And for those who are live, I'm sure you know that you can always find me under Rashawn Legacy Broadnex. So on that note, we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our quick break, and I am Rashawn Broadnex, your host for another evening of Shear Chat with my special guest, author, educator, and entrepreneur, Katina Rayford. We just went over her awesome line and the beautiful colors. The line is called Virtuous Reds. Please check Katina out so that you can check out her awesome colors. She has some beautiful things there just for this time of year for the spring. So please, she's going to give you that information when we wrap up the show. But right now we're going to get into the excitement of the evening, which is her book, 22. This is a book that recently came out. So it is new, but it has been selling like hotcakes. So many people I know have read it, and they said they have absolutely loved it. So tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, first starting off, the book came from a vision board also.
Okay.
It took 10 years to write it.
That's fine.
But I say God was building my story.
Mm-hmm.
I was anxious to write a book, and I kept starting and stopping and starting and stopping. But it wasn't until I went on a fast. Mm-hmm. And I did 21 days on a fast, but I added an extra day.
Okay.
So the book has actual testimonies and not chapters.
Right. So now I thought that was the interesting part, because initially I was saying to myself, where are the chapters? But then as I talked to you about it and you mentioned that it's broken down into testimonies, if you read it, these are testimonies throughout your life. Mm-hmm. Those are what would be the chapters. Mm-hmm. Go on.
I got some inspiration from my best friend, Demetria Atkinson Meady. Actually, one night I woke up and I was crying, and I was just like, I just keep thinking about this, that, and the other. So she said, I want you to write everything that you could mm-hmm. think of that bothers you, and write it down on a piece of paper and throw it in the trash and let it go. Mm-hmm. So I said, no, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put it in the book. So that was where I drew some of my inspiration. Okay. But I actually wrote the book to just stop harboring some things in my past.
Right.
Some testimonies in my past. I just really needed to write them out and release them and let them go. Right. And then there's the testimonies in there. There's broken cycles. There's my favorite part, which is the commitment and the deliverance. Okay. And those are my favorite parts because I made a commitment. Like I had right. a little ceremony mm-hmm. with me and God, and I committed to myself mm-hmm. that I wouldn't let the things in my past keep resurfacing. Right. So that's one of my favorite parts of the book. Okay. And then the deliverance is when I just totally surrendered my mm-hmm. life and changed. Because a lot of people say, well, when did you get saved? And, mm-hmm. When did you do this? And when did you change your life? And I said, I've been going to church since I was a little girl. Right. I always been saved. Right. It wasn't
and you have a family member that's a pastor?
Yes. Okay. My cousin, pastor, assistant pastor, DeWanna Grant. Mm-hmm. But it's a difference between being saved and surrendering. Right. So when I totally surrendered, things changed for me. My life changed. Mm-hmm. And things changed for me. Okay. Yes. So now, through writing the book, I thought it was interesting that you said Meady told you to write the stuff down and to throw it away, because I've heard that so many times. Yeah. A lot of people who deal with, and I just forgot, Katina is also a life coach. Yes. It just came to me. Yeah, certified life coach. Yes. A life coach will tell you that to write out what things you feel have you bound. Yep. And then I've seen people say
to burn it, and so you burn those things away so that they can never come back. See, throwing away, you can always dig in that trash and pick it out. But when you burn it, you totally destroy it and you let it go. So I think that is an awesome thing that someone told you to do. And I would definitely say for people who have issues like that, and that may not yet want to go seek someone, that may be a technique that they may want to try.
I encourage journaling, just writing things out. And also in the book, there's, after each testimony, there's a part where you can write your own testimony.
Right.
So that's a way. It's sort of like a workbook.
It's like a workbook, right.
So you can write your own testimonies and release your testimony.
That is an awesome idea. And I did see that. And I was wondering, I said to myself, well, maybe that's just a note section. But that is amazing to be able to, as someone goes through, to kind of work out their own thing. So it's not only just a book of her life and her testimonies, but you can also work out and release your own things that may have you bound through the book.
And I say in the book, also the title is 22, but it's also we repeat what we don't repeat.
Okay.
When you accept your past, no one can hold it against you.
Right.
So I accept all the things that I've done. And I release them and I repent it and I'm fine. It is well with my soul.
And see, that is one of the things I think that we have to do. We have to be, like you said, not just comfortable with it, but we have to accept it and be ready to really work and move forward. We are
our biggest critics. We are guilty of, just holding on to things. We don't forgive ourselves
right,
as fast,
let alone people.
But that, God forgive us instantly. But it'll be us that be holding on to things that we just need to let go. If God could forgive us instantly, you need to just forgive yourself and move on.
So now, it's interesting that you bring that up, because I had a conversation with someone the other day and we were talking about forgiveness and forgetting.
Yeah.
And the word tells us that when God forgets us, the sin is cast into the sea of forgetfulness. So he is able to forget what it is and move on.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I said, and this is nothing but flesh. I can't forget, because I can forgive and I can move forward. But often I think the forgetting is the toughest thing for me, because I really believe that I don't want people to repeat the same grievance to me. So I'm wary of it. So I have to remember it to be able to be certain that it's not coming back.
What I learned is when I worked on that, I forgive and I let it go. Some things I don't remember, and some I think I put it on my mind for and for good reasons. But sometimes you'll have folks that would say, oh, remember this. Remember in 1966, you stole my bubble gum, I stole your bubble gum. Things like that.
Right.
It's just like, I put a lot of negativity on my mind. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to relive it. I don't want it to keep resurfacing. I stepped on your shoe, you stepped on my shoe. I mean, let it go, people, really. Like, let it go.
So now, if someone came to you,
what if God didn't forgive us?
Well, see, that's the grace,
and we did
that he does.
I don't know about you, but I'm transparent and I'm honest. I did some things that was not pleasing at all. So if he can forgive and he can forget and forgive, I can do the same thing.
Okay. And see, that's great, because we're supposed to be Christ-like. We are supposed to model our lives after Christ. And if he can forgive us, we should be able to work towards that. So
I ain't saying be a fool now.
Now, see, that's what I refuse to be. I refuse to be a fool. I'm telling you.
But just because you forgive someone and they're no longer in your life, you might even miss them. And you miss some times, but that part of the story, that chapter of the book, it's over.
Now, I believe in that, because I will, there are persons in my life that, were close to me at one point that I have had to remove because I think the hurt was, it was so great for me, and it was far beyond when I tried to express it to people, far beyond what they could really imagine. And I think it's because I'm a very emotional person beyond what people see.
Yeah.
So the hurt where someone said, oh, you know, it should be okay, it really cut me. So I had to remove, so that I could not allow those things to
and
be
you do it in your own timing. In your own timing, you can deal with that in your own timing.
Okay, and so that's great. So ladies and gentlemen, what you should do, please pick up 22. Tell them how to pick up 22.
22 is available on Amazon.com
Okay.
and also Kindle. And you also can get an autographed copy from yours truly.
Okay. So the best thing is come to her for the book first. If you cannot come to her for the book, if you happen to be out of state, go on Amazon, you know, make sure you order the book, read through the testimonials, work on the workbook.
Talk to me. I like the feedback. I'm actually working on my second book, and I like the feedback.
Talk to her.
I like the feedback. So
and how can they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me, of course, on Facebook. I'm Katina Rayford on Facebook. They can get in touch with me on IG. It's Virtuous Reds .22.
Okay.
And they also can email me at katina.rayford@yahoo.com.
And through those same mediums, they can also get Virtuous Reds.
The Virtuous Reds.
Okay.
And then they can call me on my business number at 202-607-9249.
All right, so you heard all that. That's how you can pick up the book. You can also pick up your selection of color of Virtuous Reds by contacting Katina. We are about to take a quick break. This is another exciting evening of Shear Chat with Rashawn. I am your host, author, educator, life coach, and entrepreneur.
Jacquet.
Exactly, the Jacquet of all trades.
Jacquet.
And she's a cook. Lord have mercy. I just thought about that too.
A chef.
Oh, okay, yeah, because cooks, yeah, okay. So
cook
she's a
is like
chef.
the
How about a
help
chef?
of a chef.
Chefress. All right, so we'll be back in a few moments. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll come back with a exciting segment that I like to call The Tea.
Goodness. Yes.
We'll be back in a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our quick commercial break. Again, if you are just joining us, I have the exciting, alluring, and I'm not even going to say anymore, but Katina Rayford, author, educator, entrepreneur, chef, and life coach. Lord, every time we come back from a break, there's something else. But I'm so excited to have her here. Here's her book. This is her cosmetics line, Virtuous Reds. Before we move on to our final segment of the evening, tell us really quick, which is your favorite testimonial of the book?
My favorite testimony, the most touching.
Okay.
The most touching was, there's a testimony in the book where I had an experience with drugs.
Okay.
Actually PCP. And
see, that's something I did not know, but go ahead.
You know the outside of people, you
right,
know
right,
the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a reason to write the
right
book.
To tell it.
So I had experience with PCP. I had this dream that God was talking to me, and He was telling me, you know, what He was going to do to me and my friends if we kept on smoking. But actually, there was a guy in our neighborhood, and he had been smoking the PCP and drinking and everything, and he passed out. Mm-hmm. And actually, I remember this remedy that my grandmother taught me to like help someone when they're in that situation. It was like 100 degrees outside.
Wow. And
I actually took off running. Everybody thought I was tripping because it was hot and I had been smoking and tripping around the neighborhood. So I took off running real fast. I went to buy water, vinegar, and then I got somebody who lived in the neighborhood that gave me some garlic. And once you do all that and you put it down, pour it down his throat and put the ice and the cold water on his testicles, it revived them and brought them back.
So that's like
So-
a shock therapy.
So the remedy for my grandmother really worked.
Wow.
But at the same time, it was the guy who was standing right there who actually sold him the drugs.
Really?
So he told me, I was like, how could you laugh at our homies? Like, he looked like death. He really looked like he was dying. He had his eyes rolling the back of his head. He was foaming at the mouth. And
Oh, wow.
he looked like death. If you ever seen a dead body, that's how he looked at that moment. So I said, how could you laugh at our homie, laying on the ground? He was like, if that was you, I would laugh too. Because
wow.
you do the same thing he did.
Right, right.
So at that moment, after everything cleared out, that made me stop and change my life.
And see, that's awesome. So that from that experience, you were able to draw something from it for yourself,
Yeah.
which I think is amazing. And that sometimes we need to see things like that. Sometimes we need to have an experience to kind of make us really think, about what we're doing. Because I know for me, oftentimes I think it will not happen to me, and that has caused me to make some decisions in my life. However, it has been watching other people that has made me say it happened to them. Why not you?
Yeah. So if you actually read the book, there's testimonies that
What testimony number is that? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But there's a lot of testimonies where I did have a brush with death in the book. Different testimonies, and it's the book. All the testimonies are touching, but the ones where God really came in to save my life are just like they're serious.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I would say that's absolutely nothing to take lightly. We know when we have had brushes, with death. And I remember being young, one of my concerns, because, I was in church all my life, and people would always say, God will talk to you. And my question was, how do you know when he's talking to you? And I had a teacher tell me, a Sunday school teacher, she said, it's a still quiet voice, which I could not understand what that was. But she said, it's a voice that you will hear. You will not be able to mistake it, but it will direct you. And throughout my life, there were so many instances where it was like you hear that distinct voice that would tell me, do not, or do.
Yes.
And it was because, then after you're able to look and say, okay, I can only imagine if I had not, or if I had, what would have happened.
Exactly.
So I think that is
and actually,
an amazing
that
thing.
that when you speak on that helped me to write the book while I was on the fast. I was actually fasting it was a spiritual fast, and I was actually fasting for my purpose.
Okay.
And to hear from God. And I actually, when I now I have that gift, when I talk to God, I hear from God. I hear that voice. I hear him tell me what to do and what not to do, and I listen.
And you listen, which is the most important part.
I listen now.
Which is the most important part.
So he actually told me write this book.
Okay. And I can definitely say that through the testimony, like the one that you just shared with us, things like that will most definitely and undoubtedly help people.
Yep.
If they may not be in that situation, but we can always liken a situation to something that we're going through, and it may be something, whatever it is, that someone is watching or two people dealing with it, and they will see something.
And the book is very relatable to mostly everyone. There's teens that have read the book. People at my church. I have people that's incarcerated, men and women, because the book is also talking about things that happened in my childhood, all the way up until a couple of years ago when I lost one of my best girlfriends to cancer, when I lost my uncle. So it's like the head of our family. So it talks about many different issues and cycles and things of that nature. Okay.
So that is really exciting, ladies and gentlemen. That is the other reason why, if you missed it before, you just heard it, why everyone should pick up the book. You can purchase it on Amazon. It is available through the Kindle as well, and you can also contact Katina to purchase the book directly, in which she will autograph it for you.
Yes.
So we're gonna wrap that segment up,
It's
and we
tea
are
time?
moving. It is time for the tea,
Oh,
baby.
it's time for the tea. Oh, I got a gift before we get
Oh, okay.
started.
What you got?
All right.
You know, I love when people bring gifts. It is always
Let me
exciting.
see.
Oh, wait.
Actually, I bought him a gift, and I also bought myself a gift because you have to love on yourself.
Now that's true.
You have to love on
You
yourself.
have to love on yourself.
I couldn't just get him one and then give me one.
And it's my show.
It's your gift.
Okay.
And this one.
Thank you so much.
We gotta open it at the same time.
Okay. Ready?
Okay. Cause he love the tea.
I love the tea. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
I love it. Ow.
We got teacups. He got
My
a B
first
and
Shear
I got a
Chat
K.
tea. Yes.
Yes.
Cheers to that. Thank you so very much. And I have some tea inside. I cannot wait to steep that tea.
Cause it's tea
I might have to
time.
have that next week on the show.
It's tea time.
It is tea time. So, to start off our tea
Here we
conversation
go.
this week, you know, last week was 420.
Oh Lord.
Now,
Actually, that's my address. I should have played the
see,
lottery,
now-
but
now
I don't
y'all
do
know.
that. Go ahead.
excuse me, everybody. I'm still getting over this little bit of cold, but,
Yes.
you know, last week was 420 on Friday.
Yeah.
Now, you know, for those who live here in the district, you know that marijuana has become legal for you to consume in the privacy of your home. You can do all of that. You are just not supposed to sell it.
Right.
So now we know that since that had become legal, all these little pop-ups have been popping up all over the city where people are coming in, you know, and they will set up a little vending space, and it may be like 5 to 10 in one small space.
On the street?
Not on the street. In like a house or someone's house or a venue. They will have them, and you know, it's just like a place where you go in. So now the thing is, this is the example. So say Katina was a vendor, right? She would have her cute little table set up and say, you know, would you like to buy my Virtuous Red, lipstick? It's $20. So I said, oh, okay. And then my free gift with purchase would be like a gram of weed, of marijuana. I don't want to use the layperson term, a gram of marijuana. So now the city the police officers have decided to crack down because this has been happening for a minute. And now, you remember, I told you my jury duty stories? Mm-hmm. Baby. We said it then. We said that that's not going to last for too long because you're still selling. Nobody's going to believe that you're buying a little piece of paper.
It's the old thing Grandma used to say. I give you an inch, you take a mile. Now I'm letting you smoke it, right?
Exactly.
In the privacy of your own home.
Which does not mean on your porch.
Why?
You are supposed to be inside your house.
Yes. But why does it have to be all out in the open and everybody know your business, everybody know what you're doing? Like, I'm with the police. I don't think you should be selling it just straight out like that.
I totally agree. I totally and wholeheartedly agree.
Have some dignity and hold something. Put something private.
Wait, what could
hold something?
What Shanae said last week, like a lady, there are some things you have to hold sacred.
Yes. My thing is, it's just, okay, to legalize marijuana,
mm-hmm.
right? So everybody got the conception, you just can, it's legal. No, read the fine print.
Absolutely.
Read the fine print, because I think it's ridiculous that parents come to the school, the daycare, everywhere smelling like marijuana. Every public place, the DMV, everywhere smelling like marijuana.
Yeah.
Back in our day, we just used to be like, we would smoke marijuana but we'll be in the privacy of our home. And then it was like a secret. You know
Right,
what I'm
you
saying?
didn't let everybody know.
Yes.
But do you remember when cigarettes was almost like that? A lot of people did not want you to know that they smoked cigarettes.
Yes.
But I think, like you said, you give an inch, people take a mile. And then when you actually look at the laws, you're not supposed to, no one can sell marijuana to another person.
Exactly.
The only way that you can purchase marijuana within the district is if you do it through a dispensary.
Okay, but what about your friend?
What friend?
Adam, the person who, the advocate.
Oh, wait.
Adam.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
Adam said that he think they should sell it because what about the low income people that's trying to make a living? Let me tell you something, Adam. The government is not falling for it.
Not
because
at all.
it be the low income people who don't pay their rent, who get their food stamps and sell it, and stuff like that for marijuana. Like, how are you smelling like Jamaica, but you can't pay your rent,
Okay.
or you can't even go to Jamaica?
Right.
Like,
but you know what? That's the question that I have, because of those who, I'll say this. I know quite a few people who are unemployed. Somehow, I'm not sure, they find a way to get their little $20 to get their drugs.
How?
So my thing is, if you can do that,
yes,
put that money to something.
You can work on your priorities. Put your priorities first and get high. Then if you want to get high, why you gotta get high all day long from breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
But you know what? Then
I
think
and a
of it
nightcap.
like this. And a nightcap. This is, when it just came to me that the marijuana is almost like those who drink. Now, follow me because I'm about to take you on a little trip.
Oh, Lord.
If you are not working, you may fall into a state of depression. So you feel like you need something to mask that or to kind of help you through that. So they use the drug. You're unemployed all day. So
Well, that's when you should get
like,
a pen and paper and journal.
Ooh,
Write it out.
22. All right. So wait a minute. So we have to leave that there because we're running out of time.
Okay.
So we're going to move on to this really quick. And because I thought this was the kiki of all kikis, which was Kiki Shear.
Yes,
Because
that's
she
not
read.
that. Yes.
She read.
Yes.
So really quick.
Don't come for her mother.
This was the story. This was the story. So Wendy Williams the other day, on her show, she gave Snoop Dogg his props because Snoop has released a gospel album.
The #1.
Can you believe it?
It's #1.
First of all, that was the shock to me. But I said even for him to release the gospel album was a shock. But then for it to be #1. So I said, okay, now I got to listen to this. But then Wendy said, Wendy said... Wendy.
Okay.
She said that Snoop Dogg's first gospel album, he has reached #1. How would the Clark sisters feel? And then she went on to say they need to step up their game. So now the thing was, initially I was like, well, because I like to play devil's advocate. I said, well, she didn't mean, it was no harm in that. Because she just said now, for the Clark sisters, those who have been in the music industry, the gospel music genre industry for so long, how would they feel that someone out the gate has reached #1? And then so she says, maybe Clark sisters should step their game up. So then moving on, I saw the response from Kiki. Now, did you see that? Okay.
I heard it.
And okay, I heard it.
But like she said, her mother and a lot of other gospel legends, they are behind the scenes. So when someone album go,
Right.
#1, they may be a part of the production.
True.
They might have helped produce the album. So it's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that you know, she didn't speak on.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think she was out of order?
I think Wendy is out of order a lot of times. But I think so because she kind of like, she said the Clark sisters, and there's plenty of probably gospel singers or different people from different eras of music that, you know, she just singled them out. And it's a lot of people that fall in that category.
Okay, so now would it have been
number
any
one.
different if she would have said, Kirk Franklin, you need to step your game up?
She
Because the
just,
focus would just be on him.
yeah, and that's why it was an issue because the focus was just on the Clark sisters.
Well,
She could have said gospel music and
people need to
people.
step. But then do you think there would have been an issue with that?
I don't think it would have been as big, but you
Okay.
single a person or a group out,
Now,
and you said their names.
so now this is the other thing. Because I don't get upset at the stuff that Wendy say. I see how it can
But you
be.
forgive and forget.
No, what my thing is, I know that she can be shady,
Yes.
and so I just look at it as shade, and I say, "Girl, that's shade," and I move
And then
on.
when she apologized, she still do shade.
Well, I thought the apology was a little shady, but
It
I
was.
said, you know, the thing
You gonna
is
get terrible
that
praise
is
to the whole
Wendy.
audience.
That's Wendy. So
Yeah.
I said, you know, should we kind of read her and just move on and
Yeah,
you know,
because they was saying Kiki, she
Mm-hmm.
said, oh, my mama prayed for her. She prayed for the Statue of Liberty, which is shaking and about to fall over. And, you know, looking like Sanford and Son. It's the big one. They was praying for you, Wendy.
See.
So you can't, people always burn them bridges that they gotta come back across.
Very true. Now, like I have grown up listening to Wendy, so one of my favorite interviews is the legendary interview
Nobody
that
ate her
no
up
one
like
can
Whitney.
touch. Exactly.
Yes.
Honey, that was
Whitney.
the legend. I remember I was on the bus stop listening to that.
Like I tell some of the older people, you lucky my grandmother did. Wendy is lucky that Whitney is dead, because
But
Whitney
Whitney would have came back for that.
She's the one who got her together.
But you know
all the
what?
way
You know
together.
why I think so? Because they're from the same area.
But Whitney, I would never forget that
and
interview.
see, I think
Whitney
that's
shut
why
her down.
you have to have somebody that can go, that's like you, to go toe to toe.
She don't play with Amber Rose either.
True, very
She
true,
don't.
very true. So I thought that was it was just really funny to me, you know, the whole
But
Wendy
Kiki
thing.
did come back.
She got her together, and then there was
another.
another young lady, and she kind of read Wendy for Filth as well. But I think that Wendy is Wendy, you know, and
Yeah,
I think
she is.
she does it. She
I
knows
think
that people are going to read.
Some topics in some situations, we just don't have to let it get that big. It
Okay,
don't-
so let me ask
if
you
you don't
this.
feed it, won't grow.
Do you think that she should address, as we get ready to wrap up for the evening, do you think that she should address her alleged not premarital, but her alleged marital issues?
Yeah, she don't speak. See, some people, they're not transparent. They're not transparent. Like, I'm transparent in 22.
Mm-hmm.
They're not transparent. They don't speak on their issues.
Okay.
They can speak on everybody else's business but their own.
Now, do you think that she should?
I think she should.
Why?
She Whitney. She Wendy. Like, I think people could relate to you more if you real.
Okay.
It's like you fake and you know, you just, you holding, you guarding your life,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you in the field where you put everybody else's life on the line.
Okay.
So I think you will be more respected
Okay.
if you just speak on your living in your
Live
truth.
your truth, right.
Living your truth, Wendy.
Right.
E.G. What you gonna do? Step to her or something? I mean, what you gonna
Well,
do?
I think that, and this is what I've said before,
That's what that fake fallout was about. You know
I think
how them men
that she
could
should
do us,
address
honey.
it, but
Them men can make us fall out.
they can make you fall out. Do the window.
Them men can make you fall out. That was not no wardrobe. That was love sick.
My thing is, I think that she should, but I don't think that she has to. You know, because we know the truth.
Well-
and see, and it's almost like to the point where people are browbeating her, because notice every time she says something, somebody comes back and reads, like Roseanne. When Roseanne came on the show,
yes,
she
Roseanne
said,
got
well,
it together also.
But to me, what was the get together?
I mean, but at the same time, you can look at it like this. Wendy is who she is. Some people are who they are.
They are.
No matter how you look at it, know how you try to, what they say, a leopard can't change his spot. Some people are just who they are, and Wendy is one of those people.
And this is how I totally agree with you. And I look at it as, I have been listening to Wendy for over 20 years now. And I look at it as a job. No different than I look at Howard Stern. No different than I look at Andy Cohen. No different than I look at Oprah. They all have a job to do. And in the grand scheme, their job is entertainment. Now, they may bring it across through, I'm more of an informative entertainer like Oprah. She brings us a lot of things that are to teach us something or to give us some type of information. Then you have people like Howard Stern, who for years would say anything that came to his lips.
Yes, he would.
And I look at Wendy is almost like that. So she learned a long time ago that is her platform.
Yes.
To shock us, to rock us. And she does
That's
it every
just
day.
Messy Maureen. That's who she
there you go.
is.
So on
Messy
that note,
Maureen. She is who she is.
We are going to wrap up this evening because that was really good. That was the tea, our 2 quick topics for the evening. Thank you so much, Katina, for joining us.
For
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Katina Rayford, author of the book 22, entrepreneur. She is the creator of Virtuous Reds cosmetic line. She is a chef. She is a certified life coach. So if you need any of those things, the book, the cosmetics.
Oh, we forgot one.
What?
I'm on the Sea Island Morning Show.
Oh, and you know what? And I said to start that off, I was going to say she is a co-host on the Sea Island Morning Show, which can be found on 1450 WOL AM every morning at 10 a.m.
Every Monday morning.
That's right. Every Monday morning at 10 a.m. And then what else do you do? A whole lot.
I don't do Windows.
She don't do Windows. So
I do everything, but I don't do Windows.
Tell us one more time how we can get out. How we can. Get in touch
you can find
with
me on Facebook at Katina Rayford. On IG at Virtuous Reds .22.
Okay.
My email is Katina Rayford Katina.Rayford@yahoo.com, and you can call me. Here's my number. Call me anytime. Call me.
See, I'm gonna have to play the actual song.
202-607-9249.
All right, and so. As every Monday, I am your host, Rashawn Broadnax.
Yes.
This is the Shear Chat Talk Show. Shear Chat Talk Show. And we are here every Monday evening at 8 p.m. Thank you for tuning in live. We have our live studio audience. If you've liked what you see this evening, please let us see the hearts, the stars, the moons, the green clovers, blue diamonds, purple horseshoes, all that. Let us see it go up.
The
praying hands, okay. We look forward to being back here next week on Monday with our next guest. But you can also look at this show as well as our previous catalog shows on YouTube by searching Shear Chat with Rashawn. That is Shear, SHEAR, space chat, CHAT, with Rashawn, RASHAN, and my last name is Broadnax, BROADNAX, which you will see right here going across the screen.
Oh, wow.
You can also find us on Facebook under Shear Chat, and my personal page is Rashawn Legacy Broadnax. And then one thing I never mentioned? What? I'm a hairstylist.
Yes,
I'm a hairstylist. So you can also go to my hairstyling page on Facebook, which is The Red Chair by Rashawn. You can also reach out to me on Instagram.
A great stylist.
Thank you so much.
Classy work.
Thank you so much. You can see me on Instagram as well as the_red_chair_CEO.
Oh my goodness.
I know that's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. But you'll see it go right across the screen. So be sure to tune in, check out our previous shows, check out our upcoming shows, and look forward to the season closing as we will be closing out this first season in a couple of weeks.
Oh my goodness.
When we are here for the reunion. So please tune in.
Oh, it's going to be a reunion.
It's the reunion.
Oh,
and wait till you see where it's going to be.
He is taking it to the next level.
Baby.
Oh my goodness. What am I going to wear?
I can't wait for the reunion. All right. So, again, thank you so much for joining us. We've had a fabulous evening with my friend, Katina Rayford. I'm so happy to call her friend. I'm so proud of the things that she is doing.
Thank you.
And very happy to have you here. So, anything you want to say to the people as we close out?
Put God first. You will never be last. And any and everything is possible.
Bam. That's it. And thank you so much for joining, and good night.
Good night.